Voices in the Walls narrator Sam, 26, freelance web designer. Last October, I moved into an old Victorian house on the edge of a sleepy New England town. I was looking for peace. Working freelance as a web designer gave me the freedom to live anywhere. And this place was cheap, quiet, and spacious. The house had been sitting empty for years. It was a little run down, but I liked the solitude. My nearest neighbor was about a quarter-mile away. It was perfect for focus, or so I thought. The first week was uneventful. I unpacked, got internet set up, and started settling in. But then I started noticing little things. Drafts in rooms with no windows open. Light bulbs that flickered even after replacing them. Creaking upstairs even though I was the only one home. I wrote it all off as old house quirks. But on the 11th night, I heard something I couldn't ignore. I was up late working. Around 2 a.m., I heard what sounded like someone whispering. At first, I thought it was outside. I muted my music. The whispering continued, soft, unintelligible murmurs, like someone was talking behind the drywall. I froze, trying to trace it. It seemed to come from the far wall of my bedroom, the one that bordered the guest room. I put my ear to it, and I swear, someone whispered, "Sam, oh." I stumbled back, heart hammering. I hadn't told anyone I moved here. I hadn't given out the address. The next day, I searched the house for any signs of someone else living there. Attic, basement, under the stairs. Nothing. Just dust and cobwebs. But the whispers continued. Every night, around the same time. Sometimes it was my name. Sometimes laughter. Once, I heard what sounded like crying. I recorded the audio on my phone one night. When I played it back, it was faint but there. Let me out. That night, I barely slept. The next day, I called in a contractor friend. I told him I thought some animals, or maybe squatters, had gotten into the walls. He came over, examined everything, and decided to cut open part of the wall in the guest room. Behind the drywall was a small, dusty crawlspace. No animals, no people. But there was a tiny wooden chair, and sitting on the chair was a filthy old doll. Hand, stitched, with mismatched button eyes and a twisted smile. Its head was cocked to one side, as if listening. The back wall of the crawlspace had dozens of names carved into it. The last one was mine, Sam, freshly etched in jagged, trembling letters. I left that day, didn't pack a thing. I called a friend, booked a hotel, and listed the house for sale a week later. I still don't know what was whispering in that house. I never went back. But sometimes, late at night, when it's quiet enough, I still hear it. Let me out, too. The girl from the Overpass narrator Jason, 33, rideshare driver. Back in 2019, I was driving for a rideshare app in a small Midwestern town. Mostly late night shifts. Drunks, lonely college kids, the occasional creepy fare. But nothing ever scared me, until one rainy Tuesday night. It was almost 1:30 a.m. and I was about to head home when I got a request from an address out past the outskirts of town. A spot near an abandoned overpass. The GPS pinged just off the main road, right where the old bridge used to cross a dried-up creek. When I got there, headlights lit up a figure standing alone by the roadside. It was a girl, maybe 17 or 18, soaking wet, wearing a thin white hoodie. Her head was bowed, arms wrapped around herself. No umbrella, no phone in hand. She got in the back seat without saying a word. "You okay?" I asked. "Take me home," she whispered. Then she gave me an address I recognized. It was near a cornfield about 10 miles out. She didn't speak the rest of the ride, just stared out the window. Her voice had sounded distant, hollow, almost off. I tried to make small talk. Asked if she was from around here. No answer. Halfway there, I glanced in the rearview mirror. The back seat was empty. I slammed on the brakes, heart racing. I turned around. No one was there. The seat was dry. Not even an indentation. I felt like I was going insane. I drove straight home. Didn't sleep. The next morning, I searched the address she gave me. According to an old news article, the house had burned down in 1997. A girl matching her description had lived there. She went missing after her parents died in the fire. Her body was found under that same overpass 2 weeks later. She had been strangled. I haven't driven past that bridge since. But sometimes, I still get requests that ping from that spot. I never accept them. 3. Someone was sleeping in my attic. Narrator Leah, 24. Nursing student. During my last year of nursing school, I lived in a tiny rental house just off campus. Cute place, old, but cozy enough for a student living alone. The rent was dirt cheap, which should have been my first red flag. Everything was fine for the first couple of weeks. I was busy with school and late shifts at the hospital. But I started noticing little things. Food would go missing from the fridge. Sometimes I'd come home and find the bathroom door slightly open when I knew I'd closed it. My TV would be on. Even though I never used it, I told myself it was stress. Maybe I was forgetting things. But then the noises started. Late at night, I'd hear footsteps above me. Slow, heavy, like someone walking barefoot in the attic. I mentioned it to my landlord, and he laughed it off. Probably raccoons, he said. But I wasn't convinced. One night I had a friend named Carla stay over. Around 2 a.m., we heard something creak above us. Carla turned to me and whispered, "Do you have an attic?" I nodded. We got up, grabbed a broom and flashlight, and opened the attic hatch. The smell hit first, like sweat and mold. We climbed up and found a disgusting nest. Sleeping bag, empty water bottles, fast food wrappers, and a phone charger plugged into an extension cord that snaked down through a vent into my bedroom. There was even a small notebook, pages filled with frantic scribbles and drawings of me sleeping. The police came, but the guy was already gone. They said he had likely been sneaking down during the day to eat, use the bathroom, maybe even watch me. I still don't know how long he was up there. I moved out the next day. Sometimes, I wake up at 2 a.m. and stare at my ceiling, listening for footsteps. Because now I knows, just because the doors are locked, doesn't mean you're alone. 4. The late night message board. Narrator Marcus, 30. IT analyst. I've always been into weird corners of the internet. Glitch videos, mystery forums, ARGs. So when I found a private forum called Lurker's Den, I was intrigued. It was invite only. Someone from an old Discord server gave me the link. Most of it was just creepy stories and horror roleplay, or so I thought. Then I found a thread titled, "He Watches You Sleep. Post your time." At first, but the comments were unsettlings. 3:50 a.m. under the bed, 2:42 a.m. behind the curtain, 39:33 a.m. inside the mirror. People kept posting their names and timestamps. The whole thing felt too specific. I scrolled down, and then I saw a comment with my username, one I hadn't posted, Marcus. 3:09 a.m. closet. He likes when you leave the light on. I froze. I never told anyone my name on that forum. Never mentioned anything personal. But that description was dead accurate. I always left my closet light on due to a weird childhood habit. I grabbed a webcam, set it up to record overnight, and went to bed. The next morning, I checked the footage. At 3:09 a.m., the closet door slowly opened. A tall, dark figure stepped halfway out, not walking, floating. It stood there for 5 full minutes, watching me. Then it turned to the camera, smiled, a wide, unnatural grin, and disappeared. I deleted the video, burned the hard drive, moved to a different city. A few weeks later, I visited the forum again. The thread was gone, but a new one had appeared. He misses you. First comment, 3:09 a.m. new apartment.